On this edition of Lexington Now, the Doggie Paddle, art by nature, and quilting government style. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of August 29th, 2022. There are many rites of passage marking summer in the bluegrass. One popular tradition marking the close of Lexington's pools for the season is the annual Doggie Paddle.
The Humane Society is Central Kentucky's largest adoption agency. We find homes for an average of 4,000 animals every year. If it is an animal, we will find a home for it. We have dogs and cats, obviously, rabbits, snakes, skinks, horses, cows, pigs, sheep, rams, turkeys. We had an African parrot one time. If it makes an animal noise, we'll adopt it out. Doggie Paddle is Lexington's largest pool party just for dogs. It's one of our 4 core fundraisers that we have every year. It's a really good time for dogs to come and splash around in the pools before they get drained for the season. This will be the 7th Doggie Paddle. So it started with Friends of the Dog Park. They were putting on Doggie Paddle, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and they needed our support, so we came in and helped them out with it, then subsequently took it over. And it's still, some of the proceeds still go to Friends of the Dog Park, and the rest come to the Humane Society. This year's Doggie Paddle is September 10th at the Woodland Park Aquatic Center. They can expect to see lots of dogs having a very good time. They can also shop local pet-related vendors and exclusive Lexington Humane Society merchandise. They can go to adoptlove.net to learn more about Doggie Paddle, learn more about LHS as a whole, and to register their dog for the event. They can just come to watch. Yeah, it's a super cute, super fun event, so they can definitely swing by just to hang out and see the dogs have fun. Every dollar raised through this event, whether it's registration or merchandise, goes directly to support the animals in Lexington. We need to thank MetLife. They're the event sponsor this year. We also want to thank Woodland Park and Friends of the Dog Park, and most importantly, all of the volunteers that make this possible. So come to Doggie Paddle September 10th at Woodland Park. You can watch all the dogs have a great time. Tick will be there as an ambassador dog of LHS, so we hope to see everyone.
For the past several years, the Division of Environmental Quality has given artists of all ability levels an outlet for their creative side. Now in its 5th year, Art by Nature features a different theme yearly, revolving around the environment.
I'm Seth Holbrook, an environmental event coordinator with the Lexington's Division of Environmental Services. I'm here to talk to you all about our 5th annual Art by Nature exhibit. It opened on Friday, August 26th, right here in the Loudon House, located in Castlewood Park at 209 Castlewood Drive. Art by Nature started in 2018 out of an idea formed from one of our participants in our Community Environmental Academy. And though we weren't able to use their idea as part of an academy project, we did continue working on it, and it became the program that you see today. The gallery this year is featuring artwork that is themed around front yards and their importance and the beauty of native landscapes here in the bluegrass. We have 46 different works from 26 local artists here in Fayette County. We invite anyone and everyone to participate, and all types of mediums are on display, from paintings to drawings to photography and videography. It's always really great to see the participation in Art by Nature. People really love coming out and seeing the work and coming to the receptions, and also just doing the work. You get to go out and visit locations around Lexington to inspire you for the artwork, and they all deal with different natural elements of the city. In the past, we've had themes such as streamside restoration projects, mailbox strips, and trees. But this year, front yards have got the spotlight. We are focusing on how front yards are an underutilized and underappreciated aspect of our urban environment, and how the native plants that can be found within them are very important and can be quite beautiful. So our themes are chosen by our Greenway Planning Management team, who helps to also plan and put out our Plant by Numbers program, which allows citizens here in Lexington to find easy designs for plantable spaces around their own yard. And then we allow people to make art for Art by Nature from locations similar to the plans, allowing them to highlight the benefits and how easy it is to allow those kinds of plants and beauty into your neighborhood. We will be here in the Loudon House until September 24th, so you can join us here for our Lex Arts Hop reception on September 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. Or you can join us on September 24th, that's a Saturday, from 6 to 8 p.m. for our closing reception. We'll have some light refreshments as well as some activities that are fun for both adults and children. If you'd like any more information, you can find more at lexingtonky.gov/artbynature, or if you have any questions, you can email me at sholbrook@lexingtonky.gov.
So what do quilts and local government have in common? We'll tell you when we come back. Welcome back to Lexington Now. When someone mentions local government, quilts are probably not what comes to mind. But a new exhibit by civic artist in residence Hannah Allen is bringing the two together.
I'm Hannah Allen, and for the last year I've acted as a civic artist in residence working with the City of Lexington and the city's Department of Finance. The Civic Artist in Residence program was started with Civic Lex, a local nonprofit organization, alongside the Lexington-Fayette County Urban Government, working with different departments within the government to embed artists within it, to kind of creatively think about the problems there and how we can translate the information and the responsibilities of those departments in cool, fun, artistic ways. So probably March of last year, there were I think about 60 applicants for the Civic Artist in Residence program. We were brought down to about 9 people. We interviewed with all 3 departments that participated in the program, which is the Department of Finance, the Department of Environmental Quality and Public Works, and the Department of Social Services. So we interviewed with all 3 of those departments. We ranked who we'd like to be with. They were all really incredible departments, and we're really excited to have artists participating within. But I got the Department of Finance, which was a little difficult at first to try and think of how I was going to translate that information. I'm very bad at math, and finance is something I don't really understand. So that was a little bit of a hurdle, but I'm really lucky that I was able to be with such a wonderful department. So I'm a quilter. I'm a quilter and fiber artist, but I like to just call myself an artist because unfortunately quilts aren't usually seen as art. So I just call myself an artist. So I grew up sewing. I went to SCAPA, the School for the Creative and Performing Arts as a kid, as a visual art major, and learned about sewing and fiber art through that. Took a little bit of time off after I left that program and didn't start sewing again until about 5 years ago. I had sewn a lot of apparel and clothing as a kid and wanted to sew something that I hadn't before, and I was like, quilts, and just kind of got into it. I spent too much time quilting. For this program, we were asked to spend about 15 to 20 hours a week working on what our final project would be. Quilts take a lot of time to create, though. Everything is done by hand. Not only was I sewing these things and dyeing some of the fabric or printing on some of the fabric, but I was also designing the quilt itself, which is a whole process. There's a lot of math involved in it, and it's not fun. So it took me quite a while to sew these pieces. I should have kept track of the hours that each piece took, but I don't think I would have wanted to be reminded of that. So I have a series of 2 quilts and then 1 freestanding quilt within my exhibit. I have 3 quilts about the Urban Service Fund, which is a fee that you pay in your property tax bill as well as monthly. So I have a quilt about garbage collection, a quilt about street cleaning, and a quilt about street lights, which are all very obscure things to make quilts about. And then I have 3 quilts about different grant programs in town that Lexington facilitates. So I have a quilt about the Emergency Housing Voucher Grant, quilt about Narcan purchasing for the Public Health Department. This quilt behind me is about the Neighborhood Matching Grant Program. And then I have a quilt about property taxes, which, again, a very unusual thing to make a quilt about. So my exhibit, it's called Piecing a City. It's on the second floor of the Pam Miller Downtown Art Center right on Main Street. It was really important to me that I showed these pieces in a government-owned building because these are quilts about the government. And so I was really lucky that I was able to get this space, and it turned out really wonderfully, if I do say so myself. The exhibit is free. It is open, I believe, Tuesday through Saturday. There's a big sign out front when the exhibits are open. And then September, the gallery hop happening then. The exhibit will be open then, and I will be here to be able to talk to people about the quilts. These quilts will be on display through the end of September. I would love for everyone, especially people working in the city of Lexington, to be able to come and check out these quilts. So come on down and check out a quilt.
Parks and Recreation is joining forces with national and local organizations to launch the Lexington Park Equity Accelerator. But what is it? Two of our local organizations fill this in.
My name is Richard Young, and I'm the Executive Director of Civic Lex. We are a nonprofit civic education organization here in Lexington that teaches folks how to get involved in city government. I'm here today to talk about a new program that we're launching in partnership with Seedleaf, the divisions of Parks and Recreation and Planning inside LFUCG, and a coalition of community organizations from across Lexington. That project is called the Lexington Parks Equity Accelerator. This project is really designed to rethink how we plan for public space and green space across the city. It's an opportunity to look at what Lexington has done over the past 100 years relating to parks and green space, and create new processes for residents who are most impacted by the lack of green space and public space to be involved in the process of creating new public space and green space. The Lexington Park Equity Accelerator is supported by the Trust for Public Land, a national nonprofit organization that looks to address disparities in access to park space, green space, and public space, and wants to make sure that every community in the country is within a 10-minute walk of a park. It's a really exciting opportunity for us to rethink how we plan our city for the next 100 years.
Hi, my name's Christine Smith, and I'm the director of Seedleaf. We're a community gardening organization here in Lexington, Kentucky, and we operate 11 different growing spaces. So what Richard has just explained to you is the TPL Accelerator project that is here in Lexington. The reason why it's so important that we think about green space as our city continues to develop is that we know that with green space comes a whole host of benefits for individuals, for families, for communities. When we look at studies, we know that green space leads to increased mental health benefits and physical wellness overall, as well as they're great spaces for play and democracy. And so over the next year, we will be reaching out to folks like you to come and engage in workshops and programming where we explore what it means to engage with local government, where we explore these issues of why green space is important and why we need to plant more trees, why we need to have more play for children and adults. We'll also have focus groups where we'll be hearing from people like you about your green space experience. We want to know how you engage with parks. We want to know how long it takes for you to walk to parks. We want to know what's lacking in your community park, all to help increase and improve our park system and to improve the way that we go about designing and adding to parks within our city. Go to lexingtonparkequity.org where you can see more about the project, the phases that it will take over the next year, the partners involved, and to get involved yourself.
Another busy week is ahead, and we've got the live meetings on Lex TV to prove it. And as always, you can watch them here or streaming online. And remember, for the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business, check out our website at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it.